Do you ever find yourself bracing for life's big storms while you ignore the constant drizzle of tiny troubles? They seem insignificant, but collectively they erode our resilience. In this video, I'm going to share some ancient Stoic principles that will actually arm our peace against the endless little annoyances that plague us. Now, that's a big claim. And who am I to make it? Well, I'm not a guru, I'm Melanglima, and like you, a fellow traveler in this incredible yet often messy journey of life. Now, I've always been drawn to self improvement, and for a while, I've been diving into Stoicism, this ancient philosophy that's the foundation of nearly all of Western thought. And I'm making these videos to share my experience with you. Stoicism isn't about getting rich or winning at all costs. It's about becoming the best version of yourself while lifting others up at the same time. Though I'm somewhat new to these specific principles, I realized quickly that I've been practicing many of them for years. So sometimes you're going to hear me speaking with conviction in my voice, and other times you'll hear me working through the concepts as we go. So whether you're 25, 55, or 85, we're all trying to navigate life's challenges with more peace and purpose. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to arm yourself against the constant irritants that can so easily knock us off our game. Let me paint a picture that might feel familiar to you. Your alarm doesn't go off. Traffic is brutal. Your coffee tastes off. Someone slams the door in your face. Your phone battery dies at the worst possible moment. A coworker makes a thoughtless comment. And your routine is then derailed by yet another pointless meeting. Now, none of these alone would ruin your day, but by 3 o'clock, you're running on fumes. You're irritated, edgy, wondering, why do I feel so drained when nothing really bad even happened? Well, this is death by 1,000 cuts, and the Stoics had a name for this. They called them dispreferred indifference. Now, that is a fancy name, but here's what it really means. These things that happen aren't inherently awful. They don't render us useless, but they're still annoying. They still drain us, and they're still very real. In modern terms, these are just life's circumstances, those small, frustrating, uncontrollable moments that pile up and wear us down, if we let them. But the Stoics had a powerful antidote. Seneca practiced something he called reserve clauses. He'd mentally add phrases like fate permitting to all of his plans and expectations. Now, this wasn't pessimism. This was about psychological armor. It was a mindset shift. For us, for example, instead of saying, I'll grab coffee, then I'll hit the gym, I'll finish that project, and have dinner ready by 7. Instead, try something more like, I'll grab coffee if it's ready, I'll hit the gym if circumstances allow, I'll finish that project unless something urgent comes up, and then I'll have dinner by 7, God willing. Now, you might question this. I used to. To me, it sounded like kind of a cop-out, like it weakened my goals. But here's why it works. When we expect life to go exactly as planned, every deviation feels like a personal attack, like life breaking some cosmic contract we had. That's when those tiny cuts start feeling like full-blown wounds. With these reserve clauses, instead, what we're doing is we're preparing for possible interruptions. And when they do come, as they often do, they're no longer attacks. They're just life happening. So the Stoics, they weren't being passive. They were being realistic. and that realism actually became their superpower. Yeah, so I did resist this at first, in fact, for years. Honestly, it felt to me like it robbed my plans of their force. But over time, I saw the truth. In life, there are things within our control and things that are outside of our control. And it wasn't the circumstances that knocked me off track. It was my rigid expectations about how those circumstances should go. So I realized that I needed to brace myself against life's random irritants. And I decided that it wasn't a cop-out to do so. And once I began adding, if circumstances allow, to my plans, something shifted. I stopped feeling pushed around by the day because I stopped expecting the day to obey me. Here are 3 practical Stoic principles that I've started utilizing and that I think you should try. Number 1 is the morning mental prep. Before the day begins, mentally review your plans, then add some reserve clauses. This builds flexibility right into your expectations. Here's number 2, the interruption reframe. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of saying or thinking, well, this shouldn't be happening, try this instead. This is life, just doing what it does. And here's number 3. Each time you resist reality, getting angry at traffic or getting frustrated by delays or irritated by people being imperfect, you're spending emotional energy that could instead be used for things that actually matter. Flow with the day and save your energy for things that really count. And here's a deeper truth. The Stoics understood that our peace isn't destroyed by external circumstances. It's destroyed by our resistance to them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Today I escaped reality." Well, actually, no, I didn't escape it. I discarded it because it was something that was within me. It wasn't an external event. In other words, what troubled him wasn't the circumstances, it was his reaction to the circumstances. So he just decided to let it go. When we stop demanding that life conform to our expectations, we actually get more of what we want. We get more calm, more flexibility, more resilience. The circumstances will rain on our parade, but you? Well, you can become more adaptable, more pleasant to be around, and have more control over your energy. And oddly enough, when we prepare for the possibility that things might go wrong, they often go more smoothly. Here's a challenge for you. Knowing that the 1,000 little cuts are going to happen, downpours are inevitable, but suffering from them, that's your call. Tomorrow morning, add one of these phrases to your plans. Fate permitting, or God willing, or if circumstances allow. You'll find yourself becoming more calm, more resilient, and feeling energized. And I bet you even get more done. This is a lifelong practice. It's not some race to some arbitrary finish line. Some days will go better than others, but this simple act of focusing on what you can control and letting go of everything else could change your life. The Stoics call this kind of mindset the citadel of the self, where you have complete sovereignty, a place that interruptions can't touch. Finally, let me know what one small annoyance has been hijacking your peace lately. Leave it in the comments, because sometimes just naming it is the first step to disarming it. And if you haven't already, subscribe and tap the bell so that you won't miss the next episode in this series. Until next time, I'm Melanglima for Navigating Life's Journey, and thank you for watching.